to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this?
Hello and welcome to Salty Saturday. We got a wonderful just one match tonight between Grey Dawn, Smells Like Team Spirit, and Force of Will, Team Black Lotus. This is Imposition, and I'm here tonight with Finnick O'Dare. Finnick, how you doing?
Pretty great. How about you?
I'm doing great. Had a pretty good week so far. Did well in Sylvanas anyways. Appa gave me a pretty good beating yesterday in Rag, but he always plays me well, to be expected. How have your games gone? Never mind, I already know. I don't even want to think about it anymore. So,
geez.
anywho, the one match we have this week is a Sylvanas League match between two 5 seeds, both of whom were pretty good. Grey Dawn and Force of Will. Grey Dawn representing Smells Like Steam Spirit, and Force of Will representing Team Black Lotus. And this is a critical game and a critical match in the middle of the season. As critical as things can get, this time of year. Both these teams are in the hunt. Team Black Lotus is sitting at 62 points. They would be outside the playoffs if things ended today. But Smells Like Team Spirit has 71 points. And so Team Black Lotus is only 9 points behind. And perhaps even more importantly, they're in the hunt for the wild card spot coming out of that gold and red division. Both these teams are in the red. So Team Black Lotus on the week is up 8-6. There's 2 matches to play, and this is one of them. If they win both their matches, for example, they could come within 1 point, if not pass, Smells Like Team Spirit for the lead in the red division. They would have to sweep both their matches, highly unlikely, but that's the situation, which is why I share it. This match could help decide the fate of Team Black Lotus and their chances for the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that?
Pretty exciting stuff. I have mixed feelings about Black Lotus winning because, of course, that'll give us a better chance. But I'm a big Force of Will fan, so I don't want him to lose either. So it's pretty much how it is.
Yep, I feel you. And I agree. In some ways, Team Black Lotus would be good for us. By the way, both Finnick and I are in the Big Deck Bandits, currently sitting 6 points out of the lead in gold. Something like 3rd place overall in Sylvanas. We're behind Cult of Mechathune in the gold, but Smells Like Team Spirit is number 1 in the red. So if Cult of Mechathune continues to lead in points in the gold, then us, the Big Deck Bandits, are going to be looking for a wild card spot. And from that perspective, maybe Team Black Lotus winning isn't good for us. If we just let Smells Like Team Spirit win the red,
right,
and the rest of them have such low points that, we make it in, all that's good. So feel free to pull for Force of Will, and I don't think it's be so bad if that doesn't happen. Now, Grey Dawn, I don't know a lot about him or Smells Like Team Spirit as a whole, even though I do recognize Crovan, Arcane THL, and Dexter. Dexter is actually my captain for Xynergy and Rag. And Boozasaurus I played last week, and he seems like a really good player. He was undefeated up until that point. He might still be undefeated. So pretty solid team overall. I don't know a whole lot about Grey Dawn, but we're going to find out more about him tonight. Speaking of tonight, so we can look at the matchups here, and I'm going to pull up, if you look in your Discord there, I sent you a chart. This is going to be the full matchup chart with Grey Dawn bringing Druid, Hunter, Shaman, Warlock, and Force of Will bringing Druid, Hunter, Rogue, Warlock. Almost the same classes, the difference there being Force of Will bringing the Rogue, and then Grey Dawn bringing the Shaman. As a reminder, this is Sylvanas, the 5 Siege, and Sylvanas is last hero standing. So what that means is you play a class. If it wins, you keep playing it until it's not standing anymore. If it loses, then you queue in with a different class next time, and you can't play that class that lost anymore. It's no longer standing. So once you lose 3 times, your non-banned classes are no longer standing, and your opponent will still have 1 to 3 classes standing, and they will win the whole match. Looking at these classes, what are your initial thoughts out the gate? Is there any advantage? One of them brings Rogue, the other one brings Shaman. Other than that, they're identical. Any big advantages that you see just with that minor difference?
Well, just looking at the charts right off the bat, you don't even need to look super hard to be able to tell that the Rogue easily beats out the Shaman in terms of the overall lineups. But take a closer look. Actually have a pretty good chance against Odd Rogue if Force of Will ends up bringing that. But if Force of Will has done a matchup chart just like this, then I can pretty much guarantee he's gonna bring Quest Rogue.
So you're thinking Quest Rogue. Yeah, I mean, it does look like it. There's a lot more green in that row. Let me see. Against Shaman, there's more green as well. What kind of Shaman do you think he's gonna, Grey Dawn's gonna bring?
Sorry, what was that?
What kind of Shaman do you think Grey Dawn is gonna bring?
I mean, I guess Shudderwock. It's all I can see on the chart. So, yeah.
Are you looking at the main chart? It's got even Shaman, mid range, and
Oh, I
Shudderwock.
see. I see. Yeah, I don't know about mid-range Shaman, but even Shaman does definitely have a chance in terms of getting brought. But I'm still pulling for Shudderwock Shaman.
Okay. Yeah, you might be right. I could see him being worried about the rogue and just wanting to bring some big counter for it, and I think even Shaman counters it pretty well. And we do have the bans in, but before I tell you, what do you think these guys are going to ban?
Well, let's see. Just looking at Grey Dawn's perspective against Force of Will, he might almost definitely want to ban Rogue because going to be Rogue and Warlock. And, well, if he does bring Zoo Warlock, Grey Dawn's chances are going to be better. Force of Will brings Zoo Warlock, of course, but it's still pretty bad. And same goes for Odd Rogue versus Quest Rogue. It looks a little bit less red if he brings Odd Rogue, but overall the matchups are still almost all unfavored.
All right, so like I said, I do have the bans, and Force of Will ban Grey Dawn's Warlock, and Grey Dawn ban Force of Will's Druid. So,
oh yeah,
yep. Last Hero Standing ban might not be quite as crucial. In some ways, even more crucial, but you can always get away with banning Druid. And really, you could always get away with banning Warlock, Hunter, Shaman, or Rogue for that matter, depending on what your targeting strategy is. So, interesting there. I've been talking to the guys, and they're ready to go. So I'm going to tell them to go ahead and make sure they have their spectate on. Force of Will is going to be on the bottom, so make sure that you spectate him first. And we will switch to the game as soon as it's on, folks. As we said earlier, in case some people are just getting here, there's one game this week for Salty Saturday, and this is it. Sylvanas, last hero standing, battle of the 5 seeds in a critical match between these two teams. One of them trying to win the division and the other one trying to get into the wild card race. Make sure spectate is on. And we shall get this game going momentarily. All right, one of the players is wishing me good luck, and I'm not sure I need it as much as both of these guys do. But I have a feeling he might have been talking about for his other player. Let me keep an eye on them. Force of Will is in, so you can now spectate, and we'll get to the game here, folks.
All right.
All right, Force of Will opening up with Warlock, and Grey Dawn opening up with Hunter. So we're going to find out right away what kind of Hunter this is. We'll get the spectate going on the top as well. Hopefully the cards are visible. I'm doing where you should be able to see them straight up. And Force of Will appears to be on the even lot. Certainly all his cards are even, and he's got the Hooked Reaver. So Grey Dawn over there with what appears to be the secret hunter running the bear shark, and he's fortunate enough to get the spellstone in hand right out the gate. So Force of Will gets to tapping, and Grey Dawn's going to get to tracking. Did he keep? Do you know? Did he keep that tracking in the opening hand? I kind of missed the beginning of that.
I didn't see actually.
Okay. What do you take here? Animal Companion. Yeah, I like that. You're against a big deck kind of game. You don't need a 1/3. Now, do you coin out one of these 3 drops, or do you explosive since you had the Spellstone?
Well, he doesn't have any minions on board, so I'd go for the coin.
Yeah. Yeah, might as well. It's not like somebody's going to be attacking into the explosive anytime soon anyway, so he should have time.
Yeah.
And he's got another 3 drop, so coin out one, get the other one down while this guy taps away, and you're off to the races. We'll see what kind of companion he gets, if he goes that route. Grey Dawn's hand is really shaping up nicely here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, misdirection. That'll be surprising to Force of Will when that drops down.
I haven't seen that since 2014.
So he's not going to play the Animal Companion, squeezing in that hero power. Probably concerned it would have just died to the 2/3. And I don't know, could have gotten a 4/4, could have gotten an extra attack. Certainly could have made problems. But could have opened him up for the Defile and other things too. He's going to decide to hold it back. Turn 4 is probably going to be a double secret turn. Okay. So with the Defile coming down, maybe he was right to keep the Animal Companion. And if he would have dropped the 4/2, then it would have died. And he may not have wanted to bring his opponent down to 15 health, only to face a 7/7 taunt the very next turn. But yeah, I think double secret is justified here just to get the Spellstone. Okay. So he may be looking at a turn 5 secret Animal Companion move. Showing more restraint than I think I would at this point. Oh, okay. So he draws the weapon. Goes nice with the secrets. And I think he's really hesitant to bring his opponent down to a health level that's going to face a 7/7 taunt. But he's already down to 17, so his opponent just has to tap, and he can play that taunt anytime he wants. He's going face. Yeah, I like it. Gets the second secret for the Spellstone, so now that will be 4. He probably expected the Hellfire was already in hand. Had he played it last turn, though, well, I guess it would have gotten in hand just in time. But now for Force of Will, that Hellfire starts to get difficult to play because he's at a health level where, oh, and he does 4 damage to himself. Man, that's not good. Well, that's kind of tough right there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So he's got 6 mana. I mean, it seems like he's thinking about the Spellstone, but do you consider the Crackling Razormaw and something else?
An explosive trap wouldn't help him too much.
No, but at this point, anything he can do to put some damage in. Yeah, the Warlock's going to heal, but now he's in a race because he probably won't be able to swing into the face anymore this game. So don't mind the flanking strike and then the crackle. You want to squeeze in the hero power too, though. Okay, so he rolls the taunt. That's good for him. He wants to make sure that he's able to play a beast if he gets his opponent down to a level where he can kill command, and hopefully even 2-kill command in the future. But right now, Force of Will is having all the answers. The Spellstone, the Ooze, the 4/4 going face. This is turning
I'm
south.
surprised Greydon didn't go for any hero power or hand damage last turn.
No.
And I think if I were in his position, I think I'd push for that as my only hope.
Yeah, it did seem like the only hope. He must have been thinking, you know, one more push to try to take the board back over. But yeah, at this point, his only hope is going face. Get as much damage in as possible. I don't think he's going to get there. There's lethal on board, and how is he going to stop this? Flanking strike? Double flanking strike would help, but again, he's not going to be squeezing in the hero power at that rate. Explosive? And hero power. So with the other flanking strike, he can, if he gets to 10, flanking strike, kill command, but he's got to make it that far. I think I wouldn't have mind seeing him. Oh, he's got the Spellstone. Okay. I mean, he could have taken out the minion first. But yeah, I think Greydon's obviously going to have a hard time coming back from this. He can. The Wandering Monster is going to help, as will the Freezing Trap. That's 2/4, leaving him with 5 damage left. And you just squeeze in a hero power and just hope that something good happens. You know, trying to figure out which one to play first, and that's important here, right?
I think it is actually.
So which one did he play first? So it's going to be the Freezing Trap and then the Wandering Monster.
Freezing Trap.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So Force of Will off to a good start here with the Warlock. As a reminder, this is last hero standing, so he's just going to keep playing the Warlock until it loses. Would have liked to get the Hunter win against the Warlock. That would have been huge for Greydon. But that doesn't mean that he's out of it. His Hunter is out of it. What do you come back with? He has Shaman and Druid remaining. What's he got?
Let me take a look at the chart.
Well, he's coming in with the Shaman, and it is a Shudderwock.
Oh, well, there you go.
And make sure I get the bands right on this screen here.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
All right, what do we got going on? Force of Will is going to get to tapping, and look at that hand. Oh my God. If it wasn't Shudderwock Shaman, I would say this game's already over. On the coins, going to play a turn 3 Mountain Giant. If he's not worried about the Hex. Turn 4 Twilight. Or he could do another Mountain Giant if he wanted to on 4. But Greydon does have 1 Hex and 2 Hexes in hand. He'll try to save them probably for a demon so it doesn't resurrect. But come turn 3, 4, he's going to have to use one of those more likely than not. But the volcano, the lightning storm, he's got things he needs to survive. He's got the silence for the Twilight Drake now. Yeah, he's just going to hex it right up. No sense taking any chances on this one. Do you play the next one, or do you go Twilight? He's going Twilight. And he's probably going to get silenced. Just lines up so well for the Shudderwock Shaman when this happens. Gonna get a nice draw out of it. And he's off to a super good start. It's gonna have some minions on board for the Grumble. He may want to deal with this giant though. I mean, he could take a little risk. He's got healing in hand. Should he want to get the Grumble down? He does have freeze also. But this is a man that does not like taking 8 to the face. And he's going to do everything he can to avoid that. And I don't blame him not one bit. This lines up well for Defile, but is there any reason to do that now? I guess trying to avoid anything getting grumbled. What do you care if a couple totems get grumbled? Gonna fight for board, try to get as much down as he can. Knowing the Shudderwock can deal with things like this. Just gonna try to put the pressure down. I'm not sure if I wouldn't mind seeing a tap that last turn just to refill the resources a little bit as you try to mount another push. I mean, heck, maybe even skulking guys to get rid of any more Earth Shocks and Lightning Bolts. Might have been nice last turn. But Greydon's got options as well. He can freeze and grumble. Looks pretty good. Next turn, he can Acolyte and Volcano if he wants to draw a bunch of cards. What do you do here? Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say that actually.
This lines up pretty well. So well, in fact, he did not even need to tap first to see if he liked it. But Greydon's still under no pressure whatsoever. Not even scared to tap in this situation. Not sure why he held on to the freeze, but I mean, I guess you might need it down the road at some point. And now, how much damage is this? I mean, how much health is on board here? 12, 13. Does he got enough to play the Acolyte if he... No, he can't. The old, Acolyte Volcano. He could... Oh, no, he can. Yeah, now he can play it. I was still counting the health of that one. So this, when you're sitting across the table and the Shudderwock starts doing this to you, you need to find a way to win the game quickly, or you're just not going to win the game. What he has going for him, though, is this Dread Infernal and the other demons. Since both hexes were used on the giants, now as he plays out these demons, once he gets to Gul'dan, he'll get those resurrected as well. So he's got a chance to mount some pressure here. Still putting down no kind of pressure, and now the Serenites coming into play. Oh, but the Mossy Whore, he can silence and Mossy Horror this turn and start laying some wood. Or he can Skulking Geist. Up to him. You see what I mean? Like he can silence his 6/6. Are you seeing what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
And then he could have Mossy Horrored all his opponents. Well, he's got different plans. And Grey Dawn has the Shudderwock in hand. He's going to get a little more value from it. What is that, another Serenite? Yeah, he's got another Serenite up there. So he's got card draw. He's got Serenites. He's got Volcanoes. He's got everything he needs for this Shudderwock. And if you're Force of Will, this is just, you're watching your own march of death. And we've all been here. It's really frustrating to watch your opponent just sit there and play out his things, and there's nothing you can do to even reach his face. That's pretty nice because he gets to the face and gets the Hooked Reaver on board. This is kind of the one spot where Grey Dawn could get in trouble, but with the Acolyte, another Volcano, and healing in hand, he's going to Shudderwock now.
Oh.
I mean, he's got another Life Drinker, so he could start laying that down. How confident are you? Let me see. He did the Grumble, right? 2 Serenites. I'm thinking Acolyte, Volcano. This guy's got balls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's got all the freezes, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets the Grumble on it. Good game. Is he going to play the other Grumble, the other one now? See, now his hand's going to get full. Okay, it looks like he got the Serenite again. Got the 9 mana. But yeah, he only has 8 cards in hand, so Grumble's a couple more back. And if you're Force of Will, you can just go ahead and concede. Well, no, yeah, he can just concede right now. All right, let me update the chart here. And that's how it goes sometimes in Last Hero Standing. You lose the first one, so then you bring your best deck against that to hope to get the win. And if you get it, it can go back and forth like that. We could be looking at one of those 5 games Last Hero Standing matches, as opposed to if he doesn't get this favored matchup, you're oftentimes looking at getting swept. It is a little bit difficult because his hand is super full, but I think he's pretty much guaranteed to get Shudderwocks back again. And oh, by the way, I think he has, 2 of them are already in hand. So another Life Drinker to add to the Shudderwock pool, and it could be over this round, I think. I guess he's going to add another. He could have even Lightning Stormed right there. But, I mean, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he would have Lightning Stormed, then that first Shudderwock would have been lethal. But he'll get there. There's a couple Life Drinkers in the pool, and he's got 5 or 10 more Shudderwocks to play this turn alone. I'm not sure why Force of Will didn't concede yet. Maybe he's studying up for the next. All right, 1-1, back and forth. All right, real quick, what do you bring to the next one if you're Force of Will? You're facing the Shudderwock Shaman, you got Rogue and Hunter left.
All right. It's looking like Rogue.
You're coming in with the Rogue, huh? Okay.
Sorry, what was all that?
You're coming in with the Rogue on this one, huh?
Yeah. Pretty clear through the.
Well, let's take a look.
Whether or not. Huh?
Yeah, I was taking a look at the charts, but I actually accidentally pulled up. Oh, okay, they're getting into the game, so I'll go away from that. Let's see what he. Yeah, he's bringing the rogue. So
Yep.
now it is a quest rogue. So that is definitely going to make things interesting. I think that both rogues are favored, I would think, if you can get there quick enough. But I would really think that the quest rogue is probably an overwhelming favorite against the Shuttlewalk. I'm going to look that up. It just seems like it would be. Quest rogue, Shuttlewalk, yeah. 70%. Is that even accurate? I didn't know it was that much. Do the mimic. So because this game's a little bit slower, I'm really liking Force of Will's hand here so far. He can, you know what I mean? Like he has the luxury to just sit back and draw some cards, play solitaire for a little bit, and not even worry what Graydon's doing. He's under no pressure whatsoever. Getting all his pieces in place. His only problem is going to be hand size here down the road, but it's not a bad problem to have, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you can narrate the game for a minute, I gotta go grab something. I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
By narrate, I mean talk about it.
I think I go giggling here just to get the tempo going.
It's nice to save the gigglings too. He's
Yeah.
under no pressure whatsoever, so
Looks like he agrees because he just mimic potted. I don't know if you're watching this now or if you're. Radon's getting a board going, but probably not a threat in terms of Force of Will's game.
alright, so it looks like he's decided to go ahead and start finishing the quest with the shard, which is always frustrating for your opponent. But you don't mind it. He can wait. He's gonna Zola. Well, bye-bye Zola, I guess. He can't vanish now. I would have...
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I would have considered vanishing there. But I'm not real familiar with this matchup, to be honest. Like...
I mean, Graydon's just gonna kill it off, and then he's never gonna get it back.
Yeah, and then he can never go infinite. The only thing, my only reservation that I was thinking of is... Does he need to go infinite with Zola in this matchup? My instincts are yes. I mean, I always try to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, maybe last turn I kind of liked your Giggles move, because then he could have Glacial Sharded. So he's going to vanish now, I think. Just full vanish without the... Okay, he's going to burn the Grumble and a card. So, I mean, the Shuttlewalk gets burned. Okay, well, it doesn't, so... And he has a surprising dearth of bouncers in hand. So, at some point, if he had his weapon up, which he could have gotten up that one turn that he lost his Zola, then he could start looking at the old Sonya in the South Sea Deckhand 5 times to complete the quest. But that's 8, 9, or 10 mana move, and he doesn't have 8, 9, or 10 mana, but he does have a Shadow Step now. And his quest is at 3, and he does have a Vanish, and he does have a Prep.
There you go. That's gonna burn a lot.
That's going to burn a lot of cards, including the next draw. And Shudderwock's not in hand yet. I mean, he didn't know that, but I mean...
Oh, wait, no, it burned too. Okay.
Well, it's going to burn the one that he draws, though, too. Shudderwock's not in hand, and he's got 16 cards. Okay, it's just a Zola. So he's just going to rebuild here, but now that the quest is up online with 2 Giggle Schmiggles in hand and a Prep, the quest rogue's starting to take this thing by the throat. Okay, he's worried about his health already? He does have 2 of those in his deck, but it's kind of nice saving the Scale Hide sometimes for Valeera. Oh, he's going to Shadow Step it. Okay.
Infinite trick anyways.
I would insist. Oh, he's just gonna throw. Okay. I guess he just wants to make sure he can control everything. I would insist that he try to get the weapon online soon. I mean, it'd just be an extra nicety to have with the South Sea deckhand, where he can start Valyrian and Sonya shadow dancing. He doesn't have the Zola anymore though, so that unfortunately. And this is kind of one of those games where the Shudderwock is not over. You know what I mean? It's got a couple Serenites in there. The Grumble already went. Zola's gone. That's an issue.
Oh, yeah.
But he's got a 5-mana Hagatha and a Lightning Storm. So he can clear the board anytime he wants, just about, if he can knock off the Divine Shields. And if and when he actually draws Shudderwock, if Force of Will doesn't get Valeera sometime soon, or an Elven Minstrel, then he could start running out of resources. Oh, he's gonna Sonya before the Valeera.
Wow.
Wouldn't mind seeing a Fan of Knives there to get that Elven Minstrel procced. Oh, but I see what he's doing. Gives him another vicious Scale Hide. It is bold, though. Is that what you said? It is mighty bold. I might have wanted to Elven Minstrel to see if I could get something to bounce that Sonya back into hand. But maybe he's just figuring build up a board and smack him in the face. Forget all this end of game nonsense. I'm going to end the game now. Oh, and if he would have done that, there's a Youthful Brewmaster. He could have gotten the Sonya back. And he's playing his last Giggles. No, he's still got another Giggles. Yeah, he's just trying to take over and go face before Grey Dawn starts shuddering. But he's going to lose his Sonya. And if Grey Dawn can get his Shudderwock in place and not be overloaded when it happens, he's got everything inside the Shudderwock pool that he needs to possibly pull off an upset in the Shudderwock versus Quest Rogue being favored 70% matchup.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the great thing about a Shudderwock, is that even if you get your combo pieces mulled out, as Force of Will just did to his Zola.
Mm-hmm. And his Sonya.
Yeah.
And he's more concerned about bouncing Giggles than he is Sonya and Zola. And Elven Minstrel's out there to get you closer to the Valeera, but he doesn't care. He's just going to build a board and just keep smacking the pressure on. And if you're Grey Dawn, right, you're going to have a hard time surviving, but you really want to try to avoid overloading here for when you draw your... Oh, okay. So he's going to do one last overload turn. Because he can't Shadow Walk when he's overloaded. And now that he's double overloaded, it's going to be damn near impossible to deal with another full board. Oh, but he can't quite get there, can he? So he'll survive this turn. So what Grey Dawn can consider doing is... Oh, okay, he got the Earth Shock, so he could take a Divine Shield off. Obviously a Life Drinker. He does have the Healing Rain, and that's a nice pickup. Because now he can get rid of one of these, but he will be overloaded. No Shadow Walk in hand, and even if he draws the Shadow Walk, he would be able to play it. Grey Dawn's living life on the edge here, and he's dangling his feet. But
Classic Will Wainline.
but I think he's doing this the way he needs to do it. He's at in a 30% matchup. I don't know what he's thinking about at this point. I mean, you got to do this, right? Or is he just thinking, what else is coming up that I need to save this lightning bolt for? Oh, maybe he doesn't know. Like, if you Earth Shock, will it just get rid of the Divine Shield? No, it silences and does 1 damage to it. So the lightning bolt will do you. And that's what he found out. So easily able to survive another turn. And if this guy doesn't play an Elven Minstrel this turn, I might have to jump out of my seat.
Oh, he did.
Oh, wow. Alright, well, that's why this is 70%. I mean, if you don't, especially if you don't draw your Shadow Walk, how are you gonna... It's in his bottom 10 cards. Yeah, 30% chance of that happening anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, but there it is! And he does have a Mind Control attack. Do you attack first? No, I think you just play it. It's dead. He might have considered attacking first. The question is, does he get one of these back? And even if he does, can he live? Well, the freezes are going to help. And that's a lot of Shadow Walks.
Oh
boy. If he can survive the next turn, he may be pulling this off. But I don't know if he can survive the next turn. What's 4 times 7?
28.
What's 5 times 7?
35.
Okay. So you see the problem here, right? Now, he's not going to have any room on the board, though. Like, let's say he gets a bouncer. He can kill the Shadow Walk. See, so he got another charge minion. So he can kill the Shadow Walk, but now he's got no room on the board. All right, so
well, he
he
has
can...
enough damage, though, doesn't he?
Let me see. 4 times 6 is 24, 25. And he can't get 26, or he can't get the other 4 unless he has room on the board, and he has to, like, kill something to get room on the board. So now he's going to Novice Engineer because it doesn't kill him. But next turn, he can't put anything down, see? But next turn, he can kill him if he's not frozen and all his things dead. Ooh, that was actually an important Life Drinker. He's just going to play all his Shadow Walks. He does have a Healing Rain, so if the Shadow Walks don't do it, he could toss a little extra at the end of all this, but this may just be game. Grey Dawn may have just pulled off the 30% upset. And it wasn't because of the Lost Zolas and all that other stuff. They never even made it to Valera. So it's not like Force of Will played it incorrectly or anything, but when Shadow Walk does what Shadow Walk does, it does things better than when the Quest Rogue does what the Quest Rogue does. But barely. I mean, one more space on the board, and the Quest Rogue would have gotten there. But not this time.
You know, I do think Force of Will was pretty smart in going ahead and playing his combo pieces, because you want to kill this shaman before it gets to its combo.
And that's exactly why. We saw at the end exactly why. And so yeah, no knock on Force of Will. I think he was doing everything he had to do. But everything just fell into place so perfectly for Graydon in that instance. And Graydon, to his credit, I think he played that masterfully.
Oh, indeed.
And let's remind ourselves, this is the battle of 5 seeds, and we're seeing this level of play from these guys. They're, Graydon's trying to keep his team in the lead. Force of Will's trying to get his team into the playoff race, and these guys are bringing everything they can to do it. Look, Force of Will, he's got the okay, yes, it's Hunter, right? We all know the Cube Hunter and all that, but he's got the fireworks tech. So this is the mech version
of
this. Cube Hunter. Yeah, I do too. He probably has 6 mana 2/2s that pop out 7/7s. He's going to be putting a lot of pressure on this Shudderwock. I'm going to take a look at the matchup.
Very good.
Yes. Yes, it is. So let me see here. Let's just call this a Cube Hunter, even though it's not your traditional. So this is, about a 50-50 base value. The hexes will certainly help if he gets any. He doesn't have any right now. But if Force of Will can leverage this hand to the kind of pressure he should be able to put on with it, then Graydon could be in a lot of trouble down the road. But Graydon also has some of the tools he wants to see, including the Serenites. I mean, it all starts right there with the Serenites. All he really needs else is Grumble and Shudderwock and a little bit of luck.
That rhymes. Almost.
Grumble, Shudderwock, and a little bit of luck?
Almost.
That doesn't rhyme at all. So it's nice getting those play deads. He's going to go for board pressure. I start to worry a little bit about overextending. The Shudderwock, he runs Lightning Storms. We saw that last game. He's going to have the volcanoes. Now, if he can get the hexes played before he starts playing the 6 mana 2/2s, that's where he can really start laying down some pressure with this fireworks tech. But Graydon may not be having any of it. It looked like he reached for the volcano for a second, but then he started twiggling the acolyte. Okay. So he got that. I suggest he not play the mechanical whelp just yet. I wouldn't mind seeing cubing up one of the 5/5s instead. Because it's just such a big swing if you get your 6/6 or your 2/2, your mechanical whelp. If you're not able to fireworks tech it or magnetic it, and it just gets hexed, it can be a pretty big power swing. But there's no hex in hand. So all of a sudden, Graydon's under a lot of pressure facing down 2-turn lethal. So he's going to set up the Acolyte to try to get that super draw power going next turn. But he needs to really think about this. Now that Zola should draw some attention and soak up some of this damage, but with that flanking strike just drawn, the Acolyte's going to take away some of the soak. The hero power is going to dump some damage in there. And you leave these totems here, right?
Oh,
For the volcano? Yeah.
He definitely wants that face damage. And you see, now that Force of Will has that death rattle on the cube,
Uh-huh.
the
It makes the
volcano's still gonna
volcano-
leave him with a good board.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, man. You hear that coming and your heart stops for a second. If he takes a 4/4... do you go Healing Rain already? What's he at? 14? Yeah, I guess you have to, don't you? Oh, and it heals your own guy, too. He really needs to get that Hex so he can Volcano, but these continued totems, they're kind of screwing up his Volcanoes as well. He's going to do the trading for him. Oh, so now he's got enough mana to get a 7/7 out there. Unless Grey Dawn gets a... Well, there's a Hex. It may be too late, though. I mean, he could look to double Volcano next turn if he survives that long. And there's no other cubed up things, but that's asking a lot at this point. He can do 16 damage with the Volcano, but there's 10, 20, over 20 damage here. So the Hex would bring it down to almost close enough range, but then you're still going to be looking at 2 5/5s coming out of that cube. It's a tough puzzle to crack here, but I think the only answer is that you're going to have to Hex that 3/3 and take your chances. Okay, no. You Hex... Yeah, he did this right, because it was less health, but that's popping out 2 5/5s, which is more than 1 7/7. Unfortunately for him, the other 7/7 lived. But there's no more cubes. There was no more cubes. Now there is. And unless he draws a Hex here, he's not going to live past the next round or two. Nah, that's just game. Okay. So one counter queue into another, and if this goes on the way it's looking like, and some miracle doesn't happen, we're looking at a 2-2 match, and we're going to game 5. But we'll see. There could be a miracle. Let's not get ahead of myself.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. And so I think that Grey Dawn only has his Druid left. Force of Will's Warlock is out. His Rogue is out, and he only has his Hunter left. It's 2-2. The match between Smells Like Team Spirit and Team Black Lotus is 8-6. Whoever wins this match could very well win the team match for the week and either put Black Lotus into the conversation or put them out of it, and really put Smells Team Spirit into one of the top teams that you're going to be talking about. Force of Will back with the hunter. And what kind of druid is this? We got the... What is...
Oh, it's Taunt Druid.
Is it taunt? Or is it token taunt?
Ooh.
You got the
Good
strong...
question.
Yeah, you got the Strong Shell Scavenger, which is going to be the Serenite Chain Gangs and the Spreading Plagues. What do you take with this tracking? You don't know, like, you'd be tempted to take the Ooze in case it's Malagos, but...
Well, that was a
Since-
flanking strike.
He
Oh, he
took
took the Ooze.
He took the Ooze in case it's Malagos. That's why it's tough to tracking that early.
Yeah.
I'm with you, though. I kind of like the flanking strike in that situation. I don't think he was expecting to see the
Because
Ooze.
I already know that he's Taunt.
Yeah.
So I want that
Or
removal.
token, right. Yeah, you want the removal and board presence. Probably never occurred to him that the Ooze would pop up in that, but I don't know. I still don't think I would have taken it, just from the standpoint of, if you're the hunter against Malagos, if you're worried about breaking a twig, it might be too late for you already.
Oh, yeah.
Going for maximum pressure, gonna coin out the play dead instead of waiting to see what pops and using the play dead on the spider bomb, or possibly even coining out a cube. What's he got next turn? And Grey Dawn, okay, so he's managed to tap himself into a 4 damage Spellstone, and he's not having it with the death rattles. I guess he already saw one play dead. I guess he just likes taking 10 to the face instead of 5. But you never know. It could have been a Terracell Stalker or something like that. And I guess he knew he had the giggles. Just gonna cube up one of these. That makes sense. He could have Ziliax, but that would have just removed the Divine Shield. You know, Spider Bomb even was an option, but it's usually nicer to play that with Magnetic. The Swipe's going to take care of business. Now, what's things looking like in Grey Dawn's hand here going down the road? He's going into 7, so that will probably be Malfurion. On 8, he doesn't have any of the magic yet. So, he's going to mana ramp up to try to get to 10 as fast as he can. And if mechs start showing up for Force of Will, he has all the tools. There's a Mechanical Whelp. Mossy Horror, though, ooh. Going for maximum board pressure. That's one thing about token decks, is if you can keep them clear, and sometimes they have a real difficult time putting the Soul of the Forest on a bunch of things. I would have been real tempted to go for that Mossy Horror, though. I mean, even the Mechanical Whelp with all these mechs, but that's just too slow. What do you think? You think Terra Skull for the 2 5/5s? I mean, it's 2 free 5/5s, right?
Yeah.
But you know you're facing Token Druid at this point. Yeah, that's a tough call, I think. The thing about Mossy Horror and Token Druid is you Mossy Horror once, and then they just play it again, and you're sitting there with a 2/7 on the board, and you can't deal with the next wave. The way that Force of Will has done it here, he discards the Mossy Horror, and now, though, he can deal with every single board that's getting thrown at him. And this Spirit Singer Umbra, if it's not answered, it's going to do some serious damage. I mean, I don't think that Greydon can get rid of this right now. If he gets a spreading plague, that scavenger will do some work. But if not, all right. Well, he gets the answer for Umbra. He needed that. Keep in mind, this is the 5th game. It's 2-2 in this epic battle of 5 seasons Sylvanas League. Last hero standing. Both these players are down to their last hero. The next few turns will determine this match. And there's a lot of damage on board. Magnetic. Yeah. You even think about saving the play dead here, but since you're getting 2 5/5s, it's just too hard to turn down. Even if you get spreading plague, you got the 5 attack minions to deal with it. Now, if the spreading plague does come into play here, the strong scale scavenger, and it does not come into play. So this is, I think this could just be game. Ultimate Infestation does 5, takes 5 off the board. There's 27 here, and it's going to give him 5 health. And these Arcanine Arcane Tyrants aren't cutting it. That's the match, folks. Force of Will, with his pressure tactics, has taken it. Wow. What do you think, Finnick?
That was a match.
That was a match. I'm going to see if we can get Force of Will in here for a quick interview. I know you have a lot of studying to do tonight, but you got time to do a quick one?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me see if he's willing to come on in here with us. And see what his thoughts were on that Shudderwock popping off against him. Okay, he says he's got time. So let me figure out how to invite people here. Da-da-da. Force of Will, are you with us?
Hello.
Hey. Finally, second win of the season. Whew.
Oh, is that just your second? Wow, okay.
No, sorry. Not just my second. My second between both leagues.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Rag
wow.
and Sylve. Like,
Wow, I didn't even realize that after last season too, you were like, you had a big season last season, right?
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I was 6-3 Rag and 4-1 Sylve, and I don't know,
Wow,
something with the
okay.
something with the meta changed that it just did not agree with me. But I think I'm finally starting to get a little bit of the hang of it, at least. So hopefully.
Well, you had a good one tonight. This was kind of an epic battle between the 5 seeds, you and Grey Dawn. There's a lot on the line tonight too. I don't know how much you've been tracking on the.
As captain, I've been tracking. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I think if I won this, then we won the week. I think we're done, aren't we? Like,
Yeah, I believe so. I would have to double check. I didn't do the math real quick in my head when I was looking at it, but it was 8 to. Oh, did you already
2?
enter it?
No, I haven't entered yet. No.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah.
It's
It's 8 to,
right now.
It was 8 to 6, so this will give you 4 points. He did get 2 points out of this, so now it's 12 to 8 with 1 match remaining. If the next match is a sweep, I think it's a tie.
Yeah.
Quick maths. So I don't know.
Yeah. Let me see. Actually, I can submit real quick and just make sure. Yeah. So, or actually, let me just look at it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, because Dexter swept Dave, then yes. So yeah, that moves it to a 8 to or 12 to 8. So the best that the number 1 team in the conference can do is tie us. So I'm
Right.
happy with that. And I mean, it's Twiz. I have all the faith in the world. Twiz, all he needs to do is pick up 1 game, and if anybody
Twiz-
can do it, Twiz can do it.
He's playing. Oh, he's playing Crovan though. That's a pretty good player and a pretty good match.
It is.
Yeah, but
It's like-
Twiz can definitely do it. It's not going to be easy, but this, more importantly than if you're beating the best team stats wise in the red division, but it puts you into the wild card race.
Yes.
So
Yes.
even if Spirit goes on to win it, you're right up there with all the other teams vying for that 4th spot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's like that's where we wanted to be. We had a rough first 2 weeks, including we were the first opponent / victims, depending on how you look at it, of Colton Mechathoon. And so it was a uphill climb basically from that. But at the worst in this case this week, we can tie, and then if we win, great. That gives us 3 wins in a row. So I think I think the team is finally starting to get a little bit of a step in on this one. So
yeah, definitely 3 wins in a row. That's pretty awesome, actually. You stumbled at the beginning, but like you said, it really, you think it's just 1 week out of the whole season, but when you start off like that, it really does put you in a tough spot.
It really does. It's like, and against a team that I think, well, I will say, I also think people came in and maybe overestimated us. I remember with the first power rankings that we started off in 3rd place, and I was like, it's like, my team is good. I don't know if we're that good, but so I think people were bringing their best and doing awesome, and so it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. It's like we still have a couple of tough ones, but we beat Floops 2 weeks ago. We got Insomniacs last week, and now well, the worst we'll do is tie against
Team Spirit.
Smells Like Team Spirit, yeah. So yeah.
So this match, and this match in particular was one of those classic last hero standing matches where it didn't, like the favorite didn't lose and you turned into a sweep. This was back and forth the whole time.
Right. It's like, and honestly, I'll be honest, I thought I had stabilized on the Quest Rogue versus Shutterwalk.
Yeah, we all did.
Oh yeah, you stabilized like 5 times.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, so maybe if I can just, and I think honestly what I probably messed up on in that game was, instead of doing the second Elven Mistral, I probably should have drawn and see if I got a bouncer, because I knew I had at least one Shadow Step in hand, and that would have probably closed it, I think. So that was probably my one. Probably should have been done a little bit differently, but yeah, no, I think this was pretty classic. Is you go in, winning with the Warlock. I expected that the Shaman was probably coming out next, and I expected it was probably Shutterwalk Shaman, but I wasn't 100% certain on that. So just looking at the one thing about Conquest is I always keep my matchup chart from Vicious Syndicate open, so that way I know, it's like, what's the counter? What's my best counter between the things that I have left? And I saw Quest Rogue is supposed to be like an overwhelming favorite against Shutterwalk Shaman, and I was just like, okay, well,
yeah, we were looking at 70%, and it really seemed like you had gotten there if you just had a little bit of, one more slot in the board.
Yeah.
It's like you could get the board back out there, but to get it out there, your guy had to die, and when he's dying, he's not going face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little rough, but thankfully that hunter was able to bring it home, and I was just, Hunter's one of those that I think I probably should be playing more of it, but it's especially this one. I think I do like. It's not a traditional cube hunter, but it's still a powerful cube hunter. And
it's that mech version of it. Yeah.
Yes.
I do commend you for that, because I was gonna bring that last week, and like last minute, I got scared, but I commend you for being bolder than I.
I would say. Well, I will say it was more of out of necessity and not because I'm actually mixing both Katharina and there's one other legendary I'm missing, King Crush, to play the traditional cube hunter deck. So so I was like, okay, you know what? The mech version, it tends to be even a little lower to the ground than that version, which is amazing. But the traditional one, but it got there. Of course, the Shaman, I was like, I just got to be fast enough to beat the Shaman, and then once I'm in against the druid, I'll be honest. Is it bad that we finished the game and I still don't know what that druid was? Like
it was taunt. It was token taunt.
it was token taunt. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Because I didn't see any token generators besides Giggling Inventor. I was like, that's part of the reason why I chose the ooze off of the
Right.
tracking, is because I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I don't know. It's like, if this is Malagos, then it's like,
Right.
all right, well, I need something to blow up that weapon. But there was no definitive, like, okay, here's what's going on with this. So I was just
Right.
like, all right. So
The good thing in that game was that you were able to continuously put high health, high attack minions on the board,
Mhm. yes,
and that was really key to fighting through. He never did play Spreading Plague, but even if he did, you had minions to fight through it.
oh yeah, it's like, and that was my one. That was the one thing chuffed about that tracking that I was talking about earlier as well, because the
right.
Mossy Horror was in there. I was just like, oh no,
Right.
if I choose wrong, like, but I was
And
like, you know what?
Yep.
Most of my minions are 5/5s, probably okay.
And we were talking about that. You take the Mossy Horror, and it's really key for taking out a bunch of, giggles and spreading plagues and all that. But then they just
Mhm.
fill the board again, and you're stuck with a 2/7. The way
Right.
the way you played it, you got the Terror Scale Stalker off the second tracker.
Oh
That
yeah.
gave you 2 5/5s.
Yes.
So not only do you clear the 1/5s that he has, but now you have 2 5/4s on the board instead of a 2/7. So I
Yes.
think it really worked out. That was the key part of
It
that
was.
game that I think got it for you.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Yeah, no, being able to get the things to trigger it, drawing. I was about 2 seconds away. If I wouldn't have drawn the mechanical dragon, I would not have. I was about to do something like spider bomb and use my little fireworks tech. So
Right.
that came right on time for me not to do that. So I was like, all right.
That
We're good here,
firework
so-
text, when you get something off that firework text, that's a nice card. I'm surprised we're
Oh, it
not
is.
seeing more of it.
I will say, I think it's not something that would be run like in a traditional Cube Hunter deck.
Yeah,
because
you need a mech with
more
Death
mechs.
Rattle. Yeah.
Yeah, you need mechs with Death Rattle to really get the most out of it. So,
And there's really only 2 of those, right? The one that kills them and then the one that makes the 7/7s.
I would say, yeah, I will say I have in the past, not this game, but I have in the past used it on Ziliax to make it just like a 4-power.
yeah, sure, yeah.
without triggering the Death Rattle, it's just like, okay, well, I'll just make this 4-power now. So versus a 3-power minion. So
Yeah. And you could do that with anything if you had some other mech in there. So that that's
correct.
still pretty good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so I was happy with this one. After the Quest Rogue lost, I did get a little nervous. Like, okay, I was supposed to win that one, I think, but
yeah, you're definitely that was a 70% matchup, and he just one turn too long. Yeah.
Yeah, leave it to me to find the one line that will lose the 70% matchup. That seems like my motto sometimes.
Well, I think we were talking about it, and we think you played it right, where you were trying to just apply the pressure and go like you didn't care about saving your Zolas, your Sonyas. You weren't playing any of that end of game Valera stuff. You were going for board and face, and that's what you have to do. I think you played it right. It was just one turn too long, and then the Shuttle Walk does what the Shuttle Walk does.
Yeah, it's like, whenever they have the combo finished, it's like, even though I will say, I thought when I first saw it, I was like, okay, well, did the Grumble trigger first? But then I was like, no, it didn't. So
yeah,
I was really hoping the Grumble triggered first on that one, but
yeah,
it's like,
as soon as I saw that. Yeah, as soon as I saw that one Shuttle Walk go back into his hand, I knew it was pretty much over at that point.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. But fortunately, you
tried to hold on a little bit longer, but once I was down like 4 health, I was like, I'm not getting this now. I'm out. So.
Yep. But fortunately for you, you were able to wrap it up at the end of the day and get this match victory for your team.
Yes.
And this is pretty huge.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what Twiz can do, but this puts you in a real good spot. Either way, I think you guys have pretty much won this match as a team and put yourself in a good spot overall.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think this was this was one of those. I think I even mentioned this on Sylvanas Saloon. I think this is one of our definite season-defining matchups. It's like
Yes.
we didn't know what Colt was before when we went in week 1. Now
Right.
we do, but even now, I think probably if we face Colt today, we'd probably put up a little bit more of a fight than we put up week 1. But I think they still would take us right now. So bouncing back from that now, finally getting back into the wild card discussion is pretty good place to be, and I think I'm happy with my team for that. Now if my rag team can pick up, then that would be awesome. That'll be even better.
Well, enjoy this one while you can.
Yes.
Definitely a lot further along than you were after week 1, and you're back in it, and it's exciting. 3 in a row. Finnick, did you have any other questions or things for Force of Will?
I think that's it. Good job.
All right.
Thank you.
Force, you got anything else before we sign off here?
Just watch Sunday Showdown tomorrow. I believe we're gonna have one of the MCL matches. So.
Okay. What time does that start?
Yeah, I believe it starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure Donnie Time Drunk is in chat right now, so he'll correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe it starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. And they will go. I think they have 2 matches already lined up.
Okay.
I may be speaking out of turn, so on that, but
yeah.
So.
Sweet. And so that's the MCL Championship. So I don't have to remind everybody to get their classes in for that. Any other announcements or anything before we sign off?
I don't know. I think I'm good. It's like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure y'all probably have already done, the subscribe to Twitch, subscribe to the THL Twitch channel.
Yep.
Get your badges, get your emotes.
Yep. Go ahead and sub and get all the bling that you can. All of it goes to a good cause, so that's great.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Appreciate you coming in for the interview as well. Congratulations on your win.
Thank
Congrats.
you. Thank you very much.
And thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right.
To Grey Dawn, if you're out there, I thought you played great. Hats off to you. Tonight you didn't finish it off, but it goes that way sometimes. It certainly wasn't, due to lack of trying or anything else.
Yeah. No, Great Dawn was awesome. Actually, he played in the Open Series last weekend, and he did well on that. He did well on that too, I believe. I think he was. I don't know if he made top 16 or he was just out. Oh, he was 17th. He just missed the top 16. He just missed the suck. But he ended up playing because we had 2 people who dropped out, I think. So he actually did end up playing in the top 16. But
does he still get the points or?
Yeah. I
mean, if he wins, he would have been in the top 8, and then he definitely gets the points.
Correct. It's like, but since he didn't technically earn the top 16 spot, and he didn't win any additional games, I was inclined to say no.
Yeah, but, since he didn't win the additional games, it makes it pretty easy to do that. But I guess that's something that would have to be in the rules to determine.
Well, let's say, I will say the past weekend I wasn't or the weekend before I wasn't anticipating people not playing the top 16. I was like, well, honestly, if you're going to make the top 16, well, certainly you'll be back. And we ended up having 2 who did not play, and that just.
Well, sometimes 6 rounds of Swiss on a Saturday just makes it where you have to make up with your family on Sunday, and
True.
It's not always not everybody has 2 days out of the weekend to dedicate to this.
No, very, very true. That is absolutely true.
So certainly understandable, people putting the priorities where they need to be, and that's perfectly acceptable.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank everybody for watching. Force of Will, congratulations again for winning. Finnick O'Dare, you got anything for everyone?
I believe that's it. Great job.
Okay, great. Good night, folks.
Night, everybody.